The one that says you were meant for more, but somehow the doors stayed locked. This isn't a coincidence. This is a summons. Someone rewrote your story before you learned to read it. They handed you a quieter name, a smaller role, and you accepted it because that's what everyone does when the lights are low. But tonight the curtain lifts, slowly, painfully, and you feel it in your chest because you already know. You've always known something was hidden from you. They told you to blend in, to wait your turn, to be grateful for scraps while others sat at the table. They said power was inherited by louder voices, sharper smiles, cleaner histories. No. That was the lie, a well-polished one. Because real lineage doesn't announce itself. It gets buried, it gets mislabeled, it gets pushed into the margins so it can't cause trouble. You were raised to doubt your instincts, to question your strength, to apologize before speaking. That wasn't kindness, that was containment. And the pressure you feel now is the seal cracking. Imagine a vault beneath the floorboards of your life. Not gold, not jewels, something heavier. Records, names crossed out, decisions made in quiet rooms. The kind of quiet that changes everything. You weren't lost by accident. You were hidden with intent. A bloodline doesn't vanish on its own. It's erased, rebranded, redirected, and you were given a version of yourself that fit their comfort. Isn't it funny how the truth always feels like a threat to those who benefit from silence? This is where the mask slips. Not theirs, yours. The smile you learned to survive, the patience that cost you years. You felt different because you are different. Not better, not worse. Just carrying something unresolved, something waiting. Every setback was a detour, built to wear you down. Every delay a test to see if you'd forget who you are before you ever remembered. Nah, you didn't forget. You adapted. And adaptation is a quiet kind of strength they never planned for. Look back at the patterns. The resistance whenever you stepped forward. The sudden rules. The warnings dressed as advice. They weren't protecting you, they were protecting the structure. Because structures fear heirs who don't ask for permission. They fear questions that don't fit forms. They fear eyes that see through ceremony. You were never meant to kneel. You were meant to stand where decisions are made, and that's why the path felt wrong. Oh, because it was never yours to begin with. This isn't about crowns you wear. It's about weight you carry. Responsibility without applause. Authority without noise. The kind that doesn't need approval to move. You were taught to chase validation so you'd never claim authorship. Taught to wait for recognition so you'd never seize position. But recognition follows alignment, not the other way around. When you move like an heir, the world adjusts, slowly, reluctantly, then all at once. Feel that shift starting. Right now, something inside you is rearranging. Old doubts, scrambling for cover. Old fears, pretending they kept you safe. They didn't. They kept you small. This revelation isn't comfortable. It's sharp. It cuts through excuses. It demands posture. You don't rise by force. You rise by remembering. By refusing the version of yourself that was designed to be manageable. Isn't it amusing how the truth feels dangerous only because it works? So listen carefully. This is just the opening. The first page of a file they hoped would stay sealed. You're not here to watch. You're here to reclaim, step by step, thought by thought. No rush, no spectacle, just precision, the kind that changes outcomes quietly. Stay with me, because now that the bloodline is revealed, the real work begins. Oh, and there's no going back to pretending you didn't hear this. Now the question isn't if this is real, it's what you do with it, because once awareness clicks into place, denial becomes exhausting. You can feel it already. That subtle discomfort, the sense that returning to your old posture would feel like lying with your eyes open. They trained you to call that discomfort arrogance, to label confidence as danger, to mistake self-trust for rebellion. Nah, that training was never about your safety. It was about predictability. An heir who doubts is easy to manage. An heir who remembers is not. So they kept you busy. Busy surviving. Busy comparing. Busy fixing things that were never broken in you. They fed you urgency without direction. Pressure without purpose. That way you'd burn energy without gaining position. Look closely. How many times did you almost step forward, only for confusion to appear right on time? How many times did clarity arrive, then suddenly vanish? That wasn't fate, that was interference. Subtle, patient, calculated. But here's the flaw in their plan. They underestimated endurance. You learned how to watch, how to read rooms without speaking, how to sense shifts before they happened. You learned restraint, not because you were weak, but because power delayed is power refined. Every moment you thought you were being overlooked, you were sharpening perception. Every time you were told to wait, you were learning timing. They thought they were stalling you. They were training you. Irony has a sharp smile. Understand this clearly. Being the hidden heir doesn't mean instant elevation. It means responsibility hits first, pressure before privilege, awareness before authority. You don't get applause at this stage. You get silence. You get tests disguised as boredom, invitations that look ordinary, but decide trajectories. This phase is about posture, how you walk into rooms, how you listen when others rush to speak, how you hold ground without announcing it. Oh, they feel that even if they don't name it. You may notice resistance increase now. Not dramatic, not loud, administrative, delays, lost messages, shifting expectations, people misremember promises. No. Don't react emotionally. That's what they expect. The moment you start fighting shadows, you reveal your position too early. Real heirs move differently. They let systems expose themselves through inconsistency. They keep records. They stay calm. Calm unnerves those who rely on your reaction. This is where discipline becomes your signature. Not aggression, not noise, precision. You choose words carefully. You stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding. You invest energy where it compounds, not where it leaks. You begin acting from alignment, not approval. The shift is internal first, always. Because once you stop seeking permission, the world quietly recalibrates around you. That recalibration has already started, hasn't it? Let's address the fear. Yes, the one you won't say out loud. What if I claim this and lose everything? That fear kept you alive once. Respect it, then move past it. You're not being asked to declare anything publicly. You're being asked to embody it privately. Ears don't announce themselves prematurely. They prepare infrastructure, skills, networks, leverage. They move when movement becomes inevitable. Impatience is for spectators, not successors. Notice how your standards are changing. What you tolerate, what you ignore, what you walk away from without explanation. This isn't isolation, it's refinement. You're not better than others. You're simply no longer available for roles that shrink you. And some people will feel that as rejection. Let them. Their discomfort isn't your responsibility. Your responsibility is alignment with the weight you carry. Oh, weight clarifies priorities like nothing else. From here on, everything becomes intentional. How you learn, who you observe, what you build, when no one is watching. You don't rush visibility. Visibility attracts noise. You focus on competence. Competence attracts opportunities that don't need advertising. This is the quiet phase, the phase where foundations are poured underground, the phase most people abandon because it doesn't reward ego. Stay. This is where legacies are shaped, not displayed. Patience feels different when you know why you're waiting. And understand this final thing before we move forward. You were never hidden to be erased. You were hidden to survive long enough to choose consciously, to step into position with eyes open, not dazzled by illusion. What comes next isn't fantasy. It's strategy, structure, movement. In the next part, we don't talk about who you might be. We talk about how heirs reclaim ground without announcing war. Now we shift from awareness to positioning, because knowing changes nothing unless behavior follows. And this is where most people collapse back into comfort. They feel the weight, then try to rush it, try to announce it, try to prove it. No. That impulse is the last trap. Proof-seeking is a habit taught to those without authority. Real heirs don't prove, they prepare, quietly, methodically, with patience that looks like indifference to anyone who doesn't understand the long game. You don't confront the system head-on. You study it. You learn where it slows, where it contradicts itself, where it depends on routine more than logic. Every structure has blind spots, corners it ignores because it assumes compliance. You don't attack those corners. You occupy them. You become competent where no one is watching, reliable where others are careless. That's how influence forms before power ever shows its face. Subtle progress feels invisible until it isn't. This phase requires emotional control, not suppression. Control. Your reactions are data, and right now, people are watching how you handle pressure. Not openly, casually. They notice who panics when timelines shift, who seeks reassurance, who stays steady. Calm is misinterpreted as confidence, because confidence is rare. You don't need to dominate conversations. You need to remember details others forget. Remember names, patterns, promises. That memory becomes leverage later. Funny how listening builds more authority than talking ever could. Let's be clear about something uncomfortable. Not everyone around you wants you to step into this role. Some benefit from you being available, predictable, helpful without expectation. When your posture changes, they'll sense it before they understand it. They may test you. Small boundaries crossed. Casual disrespect. Requests framed as obligations. These are diagnostics. Don't explode. Don't retreat. Respond with clarity. Polite, firm, consistent. Consistency teaches people how to treat you better than confrontation ever will. You're also going to feel loneliness, not isolation. Loneliness, that space between who you were and who you're becoming. Old conversations feel shallow. Old goals feel irrelevant. This isn't superiority, it's transition. Resist the urge to fill the gap with noise. This silence is productive. It sharpens discernment. It teaches you which connections are built on habit and which are built on respect. Oh, respect feels different when it isn't begged for. Now about movement. Here's move diagonally, not straight ahead. While others chase titles, you build capability. While others chase visibility, you build reliability. You align with people who value outcomes over credit. These relationships won't look impressive at first. They won't announce themselves. But when pressure comes, they hold. That's how quiet networks outperform loud alliances. Strength loves efficiency. You may feel urgency rising, a sense that time matters more now. That's accurate. But urgency doesn't mean haste. It means prioritization. You cut distractions without ceremony. You stop overcommitting. You protect your energy like capital because it is. Every yes costs you positioning. Every unnecessary explanation leaks authority. Speak when it matters. Move when it counts. Let silence do the rest. Silence unsettles those who rely on your noise. Here's the internal shift you must guard. Ego will try to dress itself as destiny. It will whisper that you're special, above consequence. That mistake ends many before they begin. This path isn't about superiority. It's about responsibility. You hold yourself to higher standards privately, not others publicly. You correct yourself faster than you correct the room. That self-governance is what separates real heirs from performers. Discipline looks boring until you see what it builds. Pay attention to how opportunities arrive now. They won't look dramatic. They'll look like extra responsibility, like problems no one wants, like roles without glamour, but with access. Take them seriously. Solve them thoroughly. People remember who handles complexity without complaint. That memory circulates quietly until one day you're invited into decisions you were never meant to hear. Complex. Doors open when you stop knocking and start belonging. At this stage, impatience is your only enemy. Not rivals, not obstacles. Most people self-sabotage by revealing intent too early, by demanding recognition before infrastructure is ready. You won't do that. You're building something that can support weight, not just attention. When you finally step forward, it won't feel like an introduction. It will feel like confirmation. Confirmation is far more powerful than surprise. Understand this before we go further. You don't reclaim ground through conflict. You reclaim it through competence, timing, and refusal to shrink. The world doesn't hand authority to those who ask loudly. It yields to those who make themselves necessary. And necessity isn't negotiated. It's demonstrated, repeatedly, calmly, until resistance fades into compliance. That shift happens faster than people expect. Visibility is not a reward. It's a tool. And tools are dangerous in untrained hands. This is where many lose everything they built quietly. They step into light too early, thinking clarity means readiness. No. Light reveals flaws before it rewards strength. You don't chase being seen. You decide when being seen serves position. Until then, obscurity is protection, not weakness. Protection. Most people never learn that difference. Here's the truth. They don't teach. Attention attracts friction before it attracts opportunity. The moment eyes turn toward you, expectations form, opinions harden, narratives begin without your consent. If your foundation isn't solid, that pressure cracks you. So visibility must be intentional, measured, controlled. You don't enter every room announcing capability. You let results speak first. When people start referencing your work without tagging your name, that's progress. Influence works best when it travels ahead of you,